Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy RJ Game News USA here today, back with another video. And today we're going to go over the review scores for Pragmata on the PlayStation 5 on Metacritic. And so if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to jump right into it. First of all, when I saw Pragmata reviews starting to drop today, I was like, wait, what? Isn't that supposed to come out like 9 days from now or whatever, or like next week? Oh, apparently they moved the release date up from April 24th to April 17th. So it caught me by surprise. So we got to go over these review scores because this is, a new release that we got to talk about. So it's gotten 86 on Metacritic after 86 reviews, ironically. We have 83 positive and 3 mixed. Let's go over some of these reviews and get a general feel for what people are saying about this game. So, starting with a perfect 100 from GameSpew. They say Capcom has taken a gamble with Pragmata, blending together multiple genres to create something that feels fresh and unique. At the heart of it, hacking-infused third-person shooter combat, which remains engaging and exciting throughout. And when paired with the story that tugs on the heartstrings, the result is something rather special. I do admit, the game sort of has like a Donkey Kong Bonanza vibe to it, with the main character and then having a companion little girl. But that's about where the comparisons stop for me. There's other 100s. I'm not going to read all the 100s. We're just going to read one of every kind of review. So, we got a 95 from 4P.de saying, with an exciting, innovative combat system that remains fun even in the endgame, a sympathetic duo of protagonists whose chemistry is perfectly balanced, and a fascinating science fiction world, Pragmata is already shaping up to be one of the highlights of the year. And I would say an 86 overall Metacritic, I feel like it'll just miss the cut for a Game of the Year nod. I do. I think it'll miss the cut. Loot level chill. Oh, there's a bunch of other 95s here. But there is a 91 here from the AV Club saying, Pragmata reaches its potential through unique combat that admirably balances two very different systems. A story rooted in contemporary fears about AI and mechanization, replacing humans, that blossoms into genuine emotion and consistently accomplished presentation that prevents any lulls or noticeable dips in the quality. It confidently evises in a sheer reliable competence that remains hard to find in a big budget game like this, and maintains it until the end. That kind of review makes me more interested, honestly. It really does. Critical Hits with a 90 says Pragmata is a miracle of the modern video game era, with extremely experimental combat in a big budget game that works very well. It's not without minor stumbles along the way, such as a lack of world building and specific parts of the story that lack cohesion, but none of that diminishes the brilliance of the combat and intimate father-daughter story for a first attempt at something new. The game succeeds admirably, and I sincerely hope it receives a sequel that further refines the concepts created here. So yeah, it's not often we get something that truly feels new, guys. So for that alone, I'm excited the game exists. Let's see. We're scrolling down. There's a whole bunch of 90s. 90s is definitely the most common score. GameSpot gave it a 90. We have to talk about them. They're number 2 in the industry. They say, this all led to a thrilling conclusion that tested my skills, stirred my heart, and left me wanting more. Pragmata offers a robust post-game with plenty to do, but I hope that's not the last I see of Hugh and Deanna. This combination of sharp combat mechanics, rich strategic depth, and lovely storytelling doesn't come along often. Pragmata shouldn't be missed. And yeah, that's just another 90 there. And let's see. We have an 88 from Video Chums saying Pragmata is a visceral and rewarding action game set within an intriguing world that will make you want to keep coming back for more. And then we have an 87 from El Damask that says Pragmata is a smart, refreshing take on the third-person shooter formula. Its hacking-based combat system creates a fast-paced loop of strategic decisions that becomes highly satisfying once mastered. While level design feels functional rather than inspired, the strong bond between Hugh and Diana, alongside solid technical performance, makes for a compact and memorable experience with a distinct identity. Games.ch with an 86 says, fortunately, multitasking gameplay in Pragmata doesn't really mean you have to do everything at once. It's enough to constantly shift your focus between shooting, die dodging, and hacking, and that's fun. Even better than the combat and the spectacular graphics are the story and atmosphere, which despite the other strengths are an absolute highlight. We have an 85 here from Carol Quintine, who says, Pragmata is a fantastic game with a beautifully crafted world. It offers unique gameplay with duality that may surprise some, but works incredibly well once you get the hang of the hacking shooting system. The combat is a fast-paced, frantic, and even if the loop is repetitive, it's genuinely enjoyable. And we do have some other 85s here. Remember, 86 was the overall score. And yeah, a bunch of 85s and 90s galore with this one, for sure. But we have an 80 here from Digital Spy, who says, Pragmata is an incredibly fun experience that's full of satisfying combat progression and unlocks, providing constant dopamine hits of sci-fi sounds and meaningful upgrades. The charming action-adventure deserves to be a massive hit, and you should take a chance as one of these year's best games. All right. Do you have quite a bit of 80s? IGN, the industry leader with an 80, said, I know it's a bit cliche to say at this point, but it certainly applies here. Pragmata is a video game-ass video game. Its old-school approach to level design and pacing provide a decent foundation for what it does best. Heavy, satisfying shooting and unique real-time puzzle system that deepens its action. It's not exactly concerned with being a storytelling powerhouse alongside that, however, and it can be a little disappointing to see the untapped potential as it relies on worn tropes, even if its duo can be at times charming. But Capcom focused on the best lessons of the action side of modern Resident Evil games and matched that with the fresh hacking mechanics we haven't really seen before. And even with some small frustrations, that combo was good enough that I naturally wanted to keep playing past the credits to complete every leftover challenge. All right. Let's continue. Yeah, 80s and 90s for sure, the most common scores. We do have a 77 here from GamePro Germany, saying Pragmata offers one of the most unusual gameplay twists of recent years, despite some minor drawbacks. They must have been a little more than minor to give it a 77. Area Jungus with a 75 says Pragmata shines with one of the most original combat systems in recent years, but it struggles to stay engaging over time. The relationship between Hugh and Diana is heartwarming, though its development feels somewhat questionable. It may not be a masterpiece, but it's certainly a noteworthy experience. And finally, we're down to the mixed reviews. The low score is only a 70, so there's nothing crazy bad here. I'm just going to read one of these mixed reviews from Game Rant with a 70, saying Pragmata certainly starts strong, but it doesn't have quite enough to stay completely engaging all the way through to the credits. It's a highly polished sci-fi game with fun combat and exploration, but its lackluster story and characters keep it from reaching its full potential. Still, it's exciting to have a completely original IP from Capcom, and while Pragmata doesn't live up to the high bar set by some of the studio's other efforts, it's a mostly worthwhile adventure. And with that, guys, that'll end the video. Let me know in the comments below, are you buying Pragmata? And if so, let me know what you think of it. And until next time, this is your boy RJ signing out. Have a good one.